So it is official. The Padres will not have Yu Darvish at all for the 2026 season, but not because he's retiring, because he underwent elbow surgery, as he posted himself on social media, translated from Japanese. Last Wednesday, I underwent elbow surgery performed by Dr. Meister. I will not be able to pitch in games during the 2026 season. I will work hard on my rehabilitation to be able to throw a ball comfortably again. And it was the flexor tendon and internal brace. So that's kind of the new version of the Tommy John. It's not the full replacement of the ligament, but you attach a brace to the original one to help it heal. It can be a slightly quicker recovery, but it's still the better part of a year before you can get back on the mound and pitching again. So no Yu Darvish for the Padres in 2026. And most of you out there did the right thing and wished you nothing but a speedy and healthy recovery. Others, though, felt as though Yu Darvish has done something wrong in this situation. And I'm here to tell you, you're just 100% wrong on this one. There is nothing that Yu Darvish has done wrong. If you want to complain about Mike Schilt deciding to start him in Game 3 of the wild card series against the Cubs, when the Padres knew he was not healthy. I mean, this was talked about during the last season and probably anticipated that there was a high likelihood he would need offseason surgery. So this was not something that he was hiding from the team. He talked to trainers. They knew he was not doing well. He talked about it himself going into the playoffs. Like, hey, changed his arm angle to try to get through the season.
Yeah, man.
He's going to give everything he's got during the playoffs. And, we'll see where he, ends up at the end of the postseason. Thought he had it. Didn't obviously have it in that playoff game, and that ended up being his last appearance, maybe ever for the Padres. We'll see what happens. But I saw so many people that felt as though you had committed some sort of betrayal by not retiring immediately and saying goodbye to his Major League Baseball career and
leaving $46 million on the table. And that's, I think, what's sticking in everyone's craw. And I just don't agree. I mean, the guy, he did not hurt himself, in a skydiving accident and then is just going to go on cruise control and get his money. The guy hurt himself pitching, doing his job. And again, you can put AJ Preller on blast for giving him that deal, but putting him on blast and saying that he needs to, quote, do the honorable thing, which is such a joke. Honorable, walking away from that money, which, again, that's his money that the team committed to him. I thought that was a little bit ridiculous. Guys get hurt. Working on their craft. And that's what he did, man. And it bummed me out, too. It really was a terrible way to think. That's what a contract is for. They gave it to him. He signed it. It sucks. There's no question. It sucks. But, and I've seen this, too. Well, he actually said he was, contemplating retirement. No, this is what he said.
I was going to say, I feel like that was just all of us talking about.
He said this: each year I just focus to play baseball. If I feel like I can't play baseball anymore, then I'm done playing. He added, Darvish added this regarding the sway that his family life may have on whether or not he will decide to call it a career. I have a lot of kids, so I have to see what we're doing now, where we are at, and balance with baseball. Age may be a major motivator for Darvish to retire. This is not his comment. This is what an article said. He thinks he has much left in the tank, which is his right.
Well, no.
If the Padres didn't think he had anything left in the tank, they shouldn't have given him a 6-year deal.
Don't even read too much into it. He may still decide to retire at the end of his rehab, but he absolutely should go through the official rehab process.
Sure.
Think about the alternative for Yu Darvish. If he retires now, guess what? The Padres don't pay for his surgery, his rehab. He's got a team of trainers that are going to help him, and he wants to get his arm back. Now, at the end of this process, he can decide, my arm feels really darn good. I might be able to pitch effectively for 2 more years, and he can continue his career. Or at the end of the process, he may decide, you know what? I think I'm still kind of done, and I'd like to spend time with my family, and I will retire and not collect my paychecks for the last 2 years. But for this year, he will be working extremely hard. Rehab, you talk to pitchers like Joe Musgrove, there is nothing harder that a pitcher does than a year of rehab to get his arm back in shape. Yu is going to be working incredibly hard this year. Now, you won't, as a fan, reap any of the benefits
None
from it
whatsoever.
because he's not going to help the Padres win any games on the mound, but he's going to be working hard in service of the San Diego Padres in trying to get his arm back. At that point, at the end of 2026, when his rehab is done, he can decide whether he wants to go to Lake Elsinore and El Paso and start, doing rehab games and see if he can get back to the big leagues. If he does, great. If he doesn't, he can still walk away from the game. But no one can or should walk away with a completely busted arm without taking advantage of everything that being a Major League Baseball player has to offer in terms of the team of doctors, trainers, medical staff that's going to help him get back to where he can, be normal the rest of his life. As he said, throw the ball comfortably again.
Imagine taking the time off that he took the one season and saying, do not pay me for this. This is a family matter that I am leaving for. I've heard 5 different rumors as to why he left. All of them valid. None of them are business whatsoever. If one of the 5 was true, makes perfect sense to me. And he said, do not pay me. And that generous, moral thing to do is now working against him. People think he's hurt. He should quit. That's not how this works, man. It's just not.
Let's put you in a real world situation. Let's say you're nearing retirement age, early 60s. You've worked a really good construction job for a long time, and you got injured on the job. You were thinking about retirement possibly. Aren't you going to stay, though, through your workman's comp and make sure you're back and healthy again?
I'm going to walk away so the company can make more money.
You're just going to walk away from what the company's obligation is to make sure you're healthy and back to 100%. No, of course not. You're going to go through that process, and then you'll decide whether or not you want to retire at the end of that process when you're back and healthy, and you can decide on your own whether you want to go back to work or not. But right now, he has no decision. The only thing he can do is have the surgery, go through the rehab, and then when that is done, he can think about his future and what he's going to do.
There's no denying this sucks for the baseball product, the starting rotation next year and all of that, the payroll. Yes, like there are decisions that have to be made now and all of that. That is true. Both things can be true, though. Like Yu Darvish also doesn't owe
the Padres
$46 million. Both things can be true.
That's, again, like if you want to be mad at the front office for giving him that deal, that's a valid concern. You can't do anything about it now, though, right? Like you can't take that thing back. But I felt terrible. I saw that yesterday. I go, man, what a terrible way to think that some guy should, quote, honorably walk away from $46 million just because he got hurt on the job. That's tough, dude. That's a tough pill to swallow. And again, a guy that has shown very much that he cares about this organization. Very much.
As for the impact on the Padres, and, I saw some of the national shows going, well, this changes the Padres' entire offseason. If you are a listener to this program, I hope you already realized doesn't really change anything for the Padres.
I thought the same thing. I go, in my mind, I went, this sucks for you.
No one was counting.
No one.
You wanted him to retire 5 minutes ago. So
then you were thinking he was going to throw 180 innings.
Yeah, that was never going to happen. I don't think the Padres were counting on Yu Darvish. Maybe like hope among hopes. Yeah, maybe he comes back and can be an effective back-end starter, but he's not going to be throwing 200 innings for sure. I don't think this changes much in terms of what the Padres anticipated out of Yu Darvish in 2026.
No, what it changed were the people that were holding on to that hope that $46 million was going to come available because he honorably quit the game of baseball, leaving $50 million on the table. That's what people are mad about. They thought, man, if he walks away, that gives us an extra, a bunch more money to play with. And that's not the case.
And I don't know if there's sometimes contracts like that have insurance.
I have no idea.
I doubt that an insurance company was going to insure heavily a 40-year-old pitcher with that much mileage on his arm, but I don't know what the situation is behind the scenes when it comes to that.
Correct. I don't either. I have no idea, but again, we wish Yu Darvish the very best. He deserves the very best. He has earned the very best care, the very best wishes, the very best of all of it. Yu Darvish literally went out there with his arm hanging and tried to get through a few innings. in a playoff game. Now, you can put that on Schilt, AJ, whoever made that ultimate decision. That was probably the wrong decision, knowing what we know now. But again, if he thought he could go, he's earned that right. And he certainly earned the right for our respect, and certainly earned the right to take this time to get healthy, again, to want to come back and pitch for us.
Postal Blue makes a good point. He said AJ Preller, and this was in his end of season news conference when Mike Schilt stepped down, didn't really even mention you when talking about next year. He was already kind of aware that he was facing a 2026 season without Yu Darvish going to be available at that point.
Now more time for you to recruit players.
Right.
I think that
a lot of Japanese,
so much.
Yep. A lot of Japanese guys getting posted here.
That man has done so much. Instead of recruiting, I think he should just relax.
Just get your arm right.
Some R&R.
Get your head right.
Some rehab. Yeah, just take it easy.
Take it easy.
I see a suggestion. Yu Darvish, Padres' next manager. Could do worse.
Could do worse.
He could do worse than Yu Darvish, but I don't think that's the case. He's going to,
Janine,
as I said,
Janine, I was being sarcastic. I did a whole rap yesterday on why Yu Darvish is actually the worst recruiter in the history of recruiters. Maybe the worst of all time.
Again, Yu's going to be working very hard this year. You won't see it, but he will be putting in a lot of time and effort that is not fun in the least bit to earn that money. And it won't appear in the stat sheet for the San Diego Padres.
Well, you did see with like Joe Musgrove last year, he was still very much a part of that team, a part of that pitching staff, a leader in the clubhouse. And I would expect nothing different with Yu Darvish. Joe was making all the road trips that he could.
Yep.
I would expect to see you as well.
Best dress is all this nice talk of Darvish, then you drag him in the mud. I'm not dragging him in the mud. Every guy he's gone to recruit has gone to other teams. That's a fact. Shohei, Yama, Seiya Suzuki, Shota Imanaga, they all were like, we really appreciate you, Roki Sasaki. We all appreciate Yu Darvish's guidance, but we're going to go sign with the Cubs and the Dodgers. That's just a matter of fact, man. I love Yu Darvish. Love him. Deserves the very best and deserves all the well wishes that he can get, and deserves the very best treatment to get his arm back right. And he, again, if he does come back, will he be 41 or 40?
He'll be 40, turning 41
in the
2020, early in the 2027 season, I believe.
100%.